Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to our channel and today's video on making decisions for indecisive people. Now perfectionists, people with perfectionistic thinking tend to be quite indecisive because we're always trying to look for the best case scenario, the best decision, to not make the wrong decision. And while this can sound like a good thing, while this can sound like a pretty thought, having these open tabs, these open decisions and spinning and going back and forth and trying to figure out in advance of the future what decision is the best. This causes so much distress, uses so much energy, it turns on our stress response in our body, even though we might just be sitting comfortably thinking. And it's one of the most destructive and wasteful things you can do with your productivity, with your results. So I want to start with just 3 simple tips today that you can implement on the next decision that you need to make, big or small. It'd be a great idea to start with some small decisions with this, to really start to implement, execute, and see the results that come. So that when it comes to one of those big decisions that seems like it's the exception to the rule, you built these skills up anyway, and they'll be more easy to use when you need them. So let's get prepared. Firstly, add some structure to your decision making. Now to do this, you need to work out what exactly you're doing when you're making the decision, right? Because the decision itself is a split-second moment. It's a split-second moment of a commitment to something. It takes no time at all. So why do we say that it takes so long to make a decision? It's usually because we are weighing up information. We are in the deliberation phase of making a decision. We're trying to judge the information we have. So there's decide, there's deliberating, and then the other phase that may be involved in decision making is gathering information. So this might be information in some kind of factual sense that you can read in a book or on the internet, or getting input from another person. But it's information that you've deemed necessary to be able to deliberate and then make the actual decision. So work out where you are and work out what needs to be done to make the decision. Is this just a snap moment decision that you need to make and commit to? Do I need to deliberate over the information that I have, or do I need to collect more information? Then, once you've established where you are for this decision, put a time frame on it. This might look like setting a time at which you make a decision. Or, if you need to deliberate, setting aside a certain block of time. Not a time up until you make the decision, but a certain defined block of time to deliberate. And the same goes for if you need to gather more information. Put that in a container. Don't let it be days and days and days whenever you feel like it, whenever you're inspired or motivated to gather information up until this point that you have to decide. But instead, make them distinct containers. Next, I want you to make the decision temporary. Allow the decision to be a not forever. So here's the thing, in most cases, there is an opportunity once we've decided on the decision and even committed to the decision, we're taking action on the decision that we've chosen. We can turn around and go back. We can redecide later. And yes, the circumstances might be a bit different and the opportunities might be a bit different, but we cover that in our deliberating and gathering info section of making our decision, right? We know what the other options are or what the other options potentially look like. Knowing all of that, I want you to make your decision and give yourself permission to change your decision after. Now, this is very different to just being undecided, which means that you're not actually committed to the decision that you make. You know that you're committed to the decision that you make when you're actually taking action towards it, when you're not actually having one foot in, one toe in, whatever they say, to the other decision at the same time. You are single-mindedly pursuing the decision that you have decided upon. But intellectually, you know you are a free person. At any point, you can change your mind. You are not obliged to anything or anyone, even a contract, for example. There are just consequences if you decide to step out of that contract. Now, this is a really kind and productive thing that you can do for your brain. It allows you to make a decision and not feel like you will be stuck forever. And this is a decision of your lifetime that you can never take back. It's just not true. But when the decision is so heavy like that, that can hold us in indecision. And the wrong decision, if you want to think about it that way, is still better, more productive than indecision. Because indecision has nothing to offer. It's this spinning, this wasting of energy, this not picking a team, this not benefiting from either one or the other, not learning from one or the other. In indecision, not only do you stagnate, but you expend enormous amounts of energy only to stagnate. Because when you make the wrong decision, what you get back in exchange is more data, more certainty. If it is the wrong decision, The reasons for that will probably become very obvious after you've made the decision or after you started taking some action on that decision. But maybe that's the only way for you to access that information. So what this second tip really means is commit, which means you are taking action. You are all in on that decision, but you're not locked in forever. You're never really locked in forever for anything, but making a decision for the sake of getting out of indecision. Finally, my last tip is to make the decision and then make it right. Make the decision and then make it a good one. Make a decision and then make it the right one. Not figure out which is right or good beforehand. Once you have committed to your decision, I want you to genuinely be all in on your decision. Be in that place knowing these are your opportunities. This is your new place in life now. You can either water your own grass here, all of the soil that's available here, or you can keep peeking over the fence at what else might have been possible in the other decision. The truth is, the decision is just one little point in time. And what we get out of it, what we create from it, how we change from it, how we feel from it, is probably a lot more dependent on what we do after we make that decision, what we do with those new possibilities from that decision, from making that commitment, that actually changes our lives, that actually makes it good or bad or right or wrong for us. So cut the FOMO. It's not serving you. You have so many amazing options, and I'm willing to bet that your challenges with decisions is because you truly have got a couple of really good options. And it's very hard to pick between good and good. It's actually much easier and much more fulfilling to take something good and then go and make it great. And we're all capable of doing that. And nothing is great without that investment and commitment from us. So my beautiful friends, make some decisions, make them count, make them not just good, but great. I'll see you guys in my next one.